Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack and flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yep, what's good, original crew? It's your boy DJ New Kid, your girl.
Sierra Nicole.
We're back on the channel with another
Kid and C original.
Welcome back to the channel, man. We got another TikTok story time for y'all today. We got tell me your most toxic teacher experience. You got one?
No.
High school?
No.
Middle school?
No.
Everybody just loves you?
Pretty much.
You ain't had one of them teachers that just every time you turned around, they was trying to, you know what I'm saying, kind of write you up.
No.
Didn't like you. So all the teachers liked you.
That I know of.
That's Cal. Man,
No, I'm legit. I wasn't
I
that.
had plenty of teachers that didn't like me. You know what? I ain't like them back either, bro. We just both didn't like each other. We just made it work. So with that being said, y'all let us know some experiences y'all dealt with in school. I'm sure a lot of people got some, you know what I'm saying? But I'm here for these stories. So with that being said, before we get into it, make sure y'all check out the links in the description box down below. You already know where to go. If you want to further support, just always check down below. Also, we always got to give a salute to the comment of the day, man. We highly appreciate y'all being in the comment section and rocking out with us. Y'all see we be engaging back sometimes, most of the time. Might miss a couple here and there, but we see most of them. But with that being said, also if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you lock it in with a thumbs up. But it is tell me your most toxic teacher experience. This is part one. I'm sure they're gonna have multiple parts. Y'all know we're here for the TikTok story time. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Okay, talk about your most toxic teacher experience.
I have been waiting to tell this story for years. So back in like 6th grade, I had a math teacher that did not like me for whatever reason. It got to the point where she did not like me so much, she just wanted to get me in trouble. So out of nowhere in the middle of the school year, she starts doing her quizzes differently where she writes them on the whiteboard and you have to copy them down and turn it in. Lots of room for human error. So out of nowhere, my A in math goes from I cannot get more than a 0 on a math quiz ever. But all my homework is perfect. So my mom emails the teachers like, hey, what's going on with these quizzes? Is this right? Was this just entered wrong? So my teacher emails her back with a fake answer key where it shows that all of my math problems are wrong in just a little way. Like I multiplied instead of divided, I subtracted instead of added, stuff like that. So of course I get in trouble for just not paying attention. Well, I know I'm doing them right. So I get my friend Mark to give me his quiz and I take it home to show my mom. Part 2 is up.
Okay.
That's fucked up. That's the first part.
No, nothing.
Talk about your most toxic teacher experience.
Part 2 of the evil math teacher. So of course I take Mark's quiz home, show my mom. They're exactly the same except he got an A and I got a 0. So the principal, my mom, my math teacher, and I all had a meeting where basically my math teacher had to confess that she was dooming me on purpose. Like it was all in black and white. There were other kids' quizzes that were exactly like mine. So she had to go back to her old quiz style, which was basically like taking it out of a workbook to where she couldn't change it. And then my math had to be graded by another teacher because they didn't trust her to grade my math anymore. So of course she got in trouble, had to have all of my math homework graded by someone else because I couldn't trust her. And from what I heard, she was not invited to come back the next year.
Okay, talk about your most toxic teacher experience. This one's mine.
Okay, I've kind of been waiting for this one. This one was meant for me. So my senior year of high school, I had this really fine government teacher that I literally switched classes to be in his class. He was 24, he played basketball. I was like, So I had his class last of the day, and when I say he literally made me stay after every single day, and he would always be something not school related. Okay, so instance number 1, I worked at Domino's at the time, and he was like, hey, can you get me a free pizza? And I was like, no. And he was like, well, okay, fine, I'll pay for it, but I want you to deliver it to my house. And I was like, I can't, but situation number 2. So it was getting around prom time and he's like, Tiffany, do you have a date? And I was like, yeah, actually I do. And he was like, okay, who is it? And I told him and he was like, oh no, you can't go with him. And I was like, why? And he was like, you're way too good for him. And I was like, are you gonna go with me? He was like, yeah, I would, but you didn't ask me. I was like, The last day of school, he asked me to take a picture with him, and then he followed me on Instagram, DM me. I wasn't expecting that video to blow up, so I hope he doesn't see this. So before we get back to the DM story, I'm gonna tell y'all a couple more things that happened that kind of led up to that point. I feel like something that's really important to add in this story is that this man got engaged 2 months into the school year. When he announces his engagement, later that day, he literally goes, Tiffany, I know you're gonna be upset about this, but like, I was like, what? But jokingly, I was like, yeah, like, how could you do that to me? Like, flirting with a teacher is a whole nother kind of vibe. So just to add to the story a little bit, one time we were talking about birthdays, and he was like, yeah, mine's August 1st. And I was like, oh my gosh, our birthdays are 2 days apart. And he was like, oh, are you turning 19? And I was like, no, I'm turning 18. And he was like, goes dead silent for like 5 minutes, and then goes, wait, you're only 17, Tiffany? I was like, yes. I also literally never turned in any assignments for that class, and so I went up to him and I was like, look, I need to B. And he was like, let's see what you have. Pulls up my grade, D. He was like, I'll see what I can do. Okay, so I'm literally gonna have to post a part. Asking you shall receive. Toxic teacher, part 3. So
I'm invested in this story too.
But in this situation,
So he already thought she was 18. That's why he was flirting. But still, you the teacher.
He was waiting for her to turn 19. And he was gonna holler. He was gonna holler if she was
like,
already,
18, you know, still
and then she
fresh.
had graduated and she was 19. Yeah, I'm gonna holler.
You ain't no good.
But she ain't no good either though, because she kind of played into it too.
You a grown man. You the teacher. You need to have.
She played.
I get that. No. I get that. But if you're gonna be going into a high school,
because I think he looking at it like if I'm 24, she 19, right? Like think about it like this: if I'm 24, she 19, or was he turning 25?
It doesn't matter.
No, I was finna say a whole nother spiel.
Okay, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that would be kind of equivalent to like a 24-year-old dating a 30-year-old.
But what?
But I'm saying in that viewpoint, people
No.
would be like,
I get like somebody else,
okay.
like strangers out there dating. But I'm saying you went into but around kids.
Yeah, I get. I ain't never say he wasn't wrong. I ain't trying to justify what he did. I'm saying both parties was wrong. That's all I was trying to say.
I mean, a lot of people flirted with teachers back in the day. His name was fine. No, I'm just saying.
What you do in college? The grass?
Nah,
I know them grass students.
No. Most
grass
ours was females.
Most grass teachers are ugly.
Most of you guys are really curious of what happened once he DM'd me. So the initial DM that he sent me was asking, hey, can you send me the photos that we took at the end of school because they were on my phone? I was like, oh, okay. I sent him the pictures, and then later he was like, don't forget me now that you've graduated. And jokingly, I was like, I can't promise anything. And he was like, ouch, that really hurt. So I then responded, you're the one getting married. And he was like, yeah, you're right. And I was like, if this ain't toxic, I don't know what is. So then, I went on about my life. He went on about his life, got married. He was definitely still following me on Instagram up until recently, but I went to go look at his DMs just to make sure I had it all set and straight. His whole account was gone. So, sweetie, if you and your wife are watching this right now, I'm sorry.
Okay, talk about your most toxic teacher experience.
So my second grade teacher, it was her final year of teaching ever. She was retiring. And she was very proud of the fact that she had developed this reading program she'd used for 30 years in her classroom. And the first day of class, she told us nobody had ever reached the final stage of the reading program, which I now understand was a sadistic point of pride for her. But at the time as a child, I didn't interpret it that way. And I got really excited because I was really good at reading. I had always been a really shy kid. If adults looked at me, sometimes I just burst into tears. But at the age of 2, randomly, my parents had started teaching me how to read. So by 3 and 4, I was reading fluently. They'd sometimes call their friends and make me read articles from that day's newspaper to them out loud over the phone. This is a fun party trick. So the very first day of the reading program in 2nd grade, I was all excited and I beat the entire program in one day. But my teacher was not proud of me. She was frustrated that she had to develop one-on-one reading lessons to do with me for the rest of the year. So for months, we did these one-on-one reading lessons. And finally, one day, I mispronounced a word, lapel. She stood me up in front of the whole class and made fun of me till I cried.
Talk about your most toxic teacher experience.
Oh, wow.
For her to beat your program, and nobody beats the whole school year in the first day.
That's why she was mad.
And it was your last year.
Mm-hmm. She's like, one
ass.
word. Oh, I got her.
Little
No.
bitter ass.
Experience.
I bet you knew you'd see me here. The way that I could stitch this video 50 times. Anyways, well-spoken, right? Probably my most frequent comment. She's so well-spoken for an 18-year-old. How she speaks is satisfying. Vocabulary, dialect, diction, vernacular. It's my niche. It's why I have a following. That and the fact that I'm hot. Anywho, I can't public speak for shit. I just can't do it. Not to be confused with I don't want to. I literally cannot. Blackout. I pass out. I get sick. I violently shake. Going into high school, I was like, I gotta tell my teachers. So I said, yo guys, I can't do it. But I will go above and beyond to avoid doing it. I will write essays for you. I will do extra credit work. You just can't call on me in class. They were like, if she's willing to work 10 times harder than any other student to avoid it, obviously we can let it slide. Except for one teacher. He was like, don't worry, I'm gonna fix you. That may beg the question for you as it did for me, what does that entail? He made my 13-year-old ass sit in his 50-year-old ass's office every single day during my lunch period and read to him. At the end of every single day, he'd go, you're so well spoken. I don't get why you don't want to do it, Caroline. Imagine my frustration. It's like, fuck you, Jonathan.
Talk about your most toxic teacher experience.
Okay, trigger warning, abuse. I had this crazy teacher for my 6th grade science class, and she was just known to be insane. She duct taped a kid's mouth shut because she didn't want to hear their voice or something, and she threatened to shave this girl's head because she was playing with her hair in class. But she used to tell long personal stories that would take 20 minutes of class time, and one day she starts telling this story, and 5 minutes into it, I just close my textbook on my desk, and she notices and she snaps at me. She's like, how disrespectful. I guess I'm not worthy of your respect. Am I even a teacher to you? Blah, 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 blah. And she makes me stay after class. After class, it's just me and her, and she's like, I've noticed you've been having a lot of behavior problems recently. Are your parents No. And I was like, what? And she was like, are your parents hitting you? And I was like, no, oh my God, no. And she was like, oh. She was blown away that they weren't hitting me.
Okay, talk about your most toxic.
So I guess if you get whoopings at home, you act out in school? Yeah, I kind of did. I got my share on.
Teacher experience.
Oh, this started early. I was in 5th grade, right? And at that time, we had a pizza party. Now, my teacher was a completely impatient man. So he was like, everyone throw away your cups right now. No one should be drinking any more juice. I don't want you all hyper for when I'm teaching. Now, my friend actually brought some fabric softener for me because it's like, you should put this in your clothes. They'll make them smell amazing. He poured some fabric softener in a cup for me so I can take it home and pour it in. Don't know why. We were 5th graders. Our brains didn't work fully. But I was like, okay, yeah, cool, thanks. So I kept it on the desk. My teacher comes up and he's like, why aren't you listening to me, Howlett? I was like, it's not juice. And he's like, you think you're smarter than me? I was like, this might be something deeper for you. He took the cup and drank it. And I just looked at him and he looked at me. He knew he already fucked up. And I just said, how do you feel? He just looked at me and he was like, stop talking. This man drank fabric softener.
Talk about your most toxic.
But that's your fault, though. That's your fault, bro.
Teacher experience.
I've always wanted to tell this story, and my day has come. I was in the 4th grade, and I had this teacher who completely hated me, and I never figured out why, because I was such a teacher's pet because my mom's a teacher. I knew how to act. I was a good kid, whatever. And so she would get on me for things that she wouldn't get on anybody else about. If I missed a homework assignment, she'd humiliate me in front of the whole class. Or if I was eating in class, she'd come and take my food and throw it away. And she wouldn't do this to anybody else. And we had classroom chores and tasks that we had to do. And one of mine was cleaning the pencil sharpener. And I was partnered with this other boy. And so I cleaned the pencil sharpener one day. It was fine. Everything was totally cool. And then she called me into her office a week later and was like, you broke the pencil sharpener. And I was like, no, I didn't. I didn't break anything. She called my parents and told them that I damaged school property. But the kid who actually did it was the kid who went around peeing on all the different toilet paper rolls. And his mom was a janitor that had to clean it up.
Okay, talk about your most toxic.
That's probably the most funniest one, bro. Your mama gotta clean up your pee.
Bruh.
Be like, who the fuck you pissing on?
Your son.
Your son? That gotta be fucking.
Teacher experience.
I have been waiting to talk about this for such a long time. In the 1st grade, I had the teacher named Miss Sherry. She was old and she was grouchy, and I did not like her, and she hated me. She always treated me like crap. I'm Middle Eastern, and she would also treat the other Middle Eastern kids like trash as well. One time, around Christmas time, she told us to bring frosting for each of us to build our own gingerbread houses out of graham crackers. I guess I was absent that day, or I didn't get the memo that we were supposed to bring frosting for each of us, So I didn't bring frosting on the day that we were going to build the gingerbread houses. There was a few other kids who had forgotten, so she made us wait in line to use the phone. And I asked my mom if she could bring me some, but she couldn't because she was busy doing something. Which I didn't really care about making some stupid, dumb gingerbread houses. They were stupid and ugly anyway. I told her that my mom couldn't bring any, so she told me to go share with the girl that I sat next to because her mom gave her 2 cans of frosting. At the end of the class period, when I finished building the gingerbread houses, we're about to go home, she comes up to me and says, Daniela, your mom is cheap. I told mom.
You can't just... Man, who the fuck keep making these guys?
It's ending them right there. I need to know. I want to know what mama did.
I really want to know what your mama said, because my mama would have... She would have to go up there to the school and call a little bit about it. Now, what the fuck you say about me? You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna cap, though. I probably had a toxic teacher every year growing up.
Yeah.
I just can't remember them because, to be honest, they wasn't that important to me.
I'm really trying to think of a situation where I may have had a toxic teacher, and I cannot think. I was like really like.
Because to be honest,
I can't think.
I got kicked out of school in 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th, all the way up until 8th grade. By the time I got a freshman in high school, I was like, okay, hopefully I can go to a new school, clean slate. Then I ended up getting expelled my senior year of high school a week before graduation. Mm-hmm. I went all the way through high school without getting expelled. A week before graduation, the principal expelled me a week before graduation for 5 days. I said, so basically I'm kicked out till I fucking graduate, bruh. Like, I said, bro, I don't even give... I'm out this bitch. But legit, I got kicked out of school legit every year. But you know what I was like? I said every year, because you know teachers do ask about previous students coming in. And my name had to be on the list of students that always gave
trouble.
Child. So every year, no matter who it was, like even when I went into high school, every year I would go to, oh, you're La Bradford. I'd be like, who the fuck you talking? Damn, I said my real name. But I was like, they used to be like, oh, so you, I was like, bro, how the, like, who is telling y'all everybody about me?
Yeah.
And I could never get a clean, fresh slate to like restart.
Y'all, everybody about me. You made up your own sentence.
I told you I'm T.I. Man. But with that being said, man, y'all spam us up in the comment section down below. Let us know what else we should react to next so we can bring it over here for y'all, man. But as always, y'all know how it go. I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is. We are, y'all.
Go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my folks. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me.